All right, John. Alex Orji, Davis Warren. A lot of drama going on here. Sam Webb hit people with, and I won't say exactly what he said because it is behind a paywall, and I respect that for
Yeah.
24/7. But he did hit his subscribers with the thought that could be Davis Warren starting this Sunday, and maybe the starting position is not all the way figured out. But if he had to say which way it was leaning, he thinks it's leaning a little bit more Warren right now. I've been assuming it's Orgy the entire offseason just because of what he brings with his legs and how much Sharon Moore is going to want to probably run this offense on the ground more than in the air. However, things are looking a little bit different there. What are your thoughts, John?
Oh, well. So I was the one back in January, February. I had to open my big mouth and I had to say I thought Davis Warren was going to be a depth guy. I just didn't see him breaking through to that degree. Um, Man, I don't think I've been wronger about a take. Davis Warren will be the starting quarterback tomorrow.
Yeah.
um, from all accounts, and I have that from multiple sources in the media, and we even have one, other source, even deeper, that is confirming that it's Davis Warren at this point. And Alex Orji's going to play, but I'm going to explain kind of what happened. So Alex Orji was set up to be the starting quarterback going back to the last year. So even in those final games, they were drawing up packages for him to kind of get him acquainted with really big game situations, because the assumption was going to be that he would be the new starting quarterback. JJ would go to the NFL. That was pretty much going to happen. JJ, they pretended that JJ was really thinking about it, but JJ was not really. JJ knew he was going to go first round and get first round draft money.
Hmm.
Hope he recovers fast. By the way,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're all
Really, for sure.
hoping for that. But so Alex Orji was ahead in spring. He was the first one out there in the spring game, and he was treated like the starter. Then it continued into fall. Davis Warren surged. Davis Warren has been the better passer. Alex Orji, of course, better at running and overall athleticism, versatility. But the pass discrepancy, this week, it really took a turn for Davis Warren even more, where I'm hearing that he was hitting the high 80s in completion percentage. And this is not against dummies. This isn't against nobody. This is against the Michigan defense,
The
that he's
ones.
going high
Yeah.
80s. The ones, and I'm sure that there was a mix of rotation and some twos in there too,
Right.
but still, even the twos are better than a lot of teams' ones. So the bottom line is, if he's going high 80s, you can't keep him off the field. He will be your starting quarterback. And then as far as Alex Orji, he's going to play too. And believe me, like he will be utilized in packages, not just to run, but also to pass. There will be RPOs and packages with him. And I do not think it is completely solidified for good. I think Alex Orji and Davis, they're going to continue to evaluate this. And if things flip, because we know that there are some quarterbacks that are just amazing in practice, when it gets to real games against real opponents, sometimes the moment's too big. So it's very, very possible that Alex Orji could still start, but as of game one, snap one, Davis Warren is the starting quarterback. And I think that's only a good thing for Michigan. I was even talking to some Buckeyes about it, and they were like, we were hoping it was going to be Orji because Davis Warren looked like a better passer, even in the spring game. And so some Buckeyes were actually upset at the news that it was going to be Davis Warren. So that's always a good sign too. But I'm upset the other way, because I really thought that Alex Orji provided a versatility, that the defense would have to always have a spy. So the defense would always have to have a spy out. Plus, they would have to factor in the regular running backs. Plus, they would have to factor in Colston Loveland and Marlon Klein on tight ends, the receiving game, at least a short, medium pass receiving game. And that versatility is tough to defend against. And Davis Warren doesn't have the legs, and we know that. Like, he doesn't of Alex Orji, but like, it's not even close. So the fact that he was such a better passer that it was just and Alex Orji was throwing picks, just that again, inconsistent on the pass game, and so they made the call, and we got to just trust Kirk Campbell and Sharon Moore's evaluation that Davis Warren's just flat out better right now. And I was really wrong, and I've got a clown nose coming, and Tuesday I will have the clown nose on and give my own up to the takes. But good for Davis, man. He was a walk on. He battled and beat cancer. And he was a very highly touted recruit coming out of high school, but obviously just had a lot of life situations that he was battling and some inconsistency in games, and he fought through it to his credit, and he won the job, according to everything I'm hearing.
Yeah, I was looking up some of his recruiting stuff earlier because I saw somebody say he was a 4-star, and I couldn't find very much. Did he get cancer while he was in high school, and then that's why he walked on to Michigan, or how did that? Are you aware with how that worked?
Yeah, so I don't really. I think it was so it was junior year of high school that he was diagnosed, and so he was dealing with this even back in high school. He had to reclassify, so he reclassified to the class of 21, and then he became a preferred walk-on for the Wolverines. So he's been in the program since 21. Then he started having some more a little bit of action in 22. He was placed on scholarship after that. And he's battled, and to his credit, he's battled and he's won the job. So he's had to face a lot more adversity than people even double his age. So it's a good story.
Yeah, well, and I mean, it shows perseverance and all that stuff. I mean, even if you're looking at this and you're saying who's more talented, I mean, you have to believe, in all respect to Alex Orji, I'm not trying to say anything against him here, but you have to say the heart of this Davis Warren kid. I mean, it's up there, and he has to be a fantastic culture fit for this Michigan team. He's been there since the 2021 season, and that's when Michigan has had the bulk of their success lately, and now he's coming in with Sharon Moore his first year. So we'll see how it goes. I still think Alex Orji would fit that offense better, but I don't know. Maybe Kirk Campbell's going to run some things different. I mean, I would just think that with a running offense, you could do so much more read option. You could do so much more trying to confuse the opponent with a quarterback that's able to run.
Well,
I mean, all respect to Davis Moore in the world, but he is nowhere near the athlete or the threat that Alex Orji would be on the ground. And you would think that this Michigan team, especially with how much Sharon Moore talks about smash, 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 and what he brought to the table as an offensive coordinator, you'd think their identity would be on the ground enough that you would rely on that. But, I mean, Davis Warren must have just been that much better.
Yeah, keep in mind that Alex Orji's going to play, and he's going to play more than he did at the end of last year. We saw him in for brief periods in big games. You're going to see. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be every other, but he's going to have
kind of like a red zone guy. Is that what you would think?
Red zone guy. Kind of like how they were using like Taysom Hill at the Saints. As in the quarterback role plus the tight end role. You could see Alex Orji playing some like other positions. He did line up at other positions last year at various points. So I think they're going to utilize. They believe that Alex Orji is one of the 11 or 12 best offensive players that they have. So he's gonna see time, and he might see time at a variety of positions. I think they'll keep the really fun stuff for you guys for Ohio State. Probably see all kinds of trickeration there. But if they're willing to have a linebacker throw the ball, then anything's possible, right? But yeah, no, they're both going to play. But Davis Warren is going to be the at least for game one. He's the starting quarterback. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Well, congrats to him, man. I mean, it's a fantastic story. You just hope it ends well for him, and you don't have some kind of situation where he loses a job or something like that, because you love the story and you love to for
Oh,
him to be able to make that a part of his career and everything going on there. So I
some of
we'll
these
see
comments, some of these comments, man, I just I gotta respond to some of
what
this
the
stuff.
FAU stuff.
Oh, not just that. I mean, there's a
Oh,
lot
go
of
ahead.
comments about our topic here.
Which one do you
So,
want?
well, let's start with Mr. Brian, the Buckeye Myers here.
I
Uh,
love Brian. Be
not
easy on him. I like
not
Brian.
not trying to be insulting here, but Michigan seems like a one-man offense. It's Edwards or bust for them this year. Uh, yeah, you need to watch Michigan Wolverines live, where we carefully explain every position group and why that's extremely inaccurate. Edwards has worked on his game. He has bulked up a lot this offseason, and the reason is because he's going to be taking some of those reps that Blake Corum was taking, and in the short run game, right? So there is going to be Edwards utilization there. It's not just going to be Mullings in short yardage situations, but to say that it's a one man offense, it's like you're acting like it's like Rutgers is off. Rutgers is a one man offense with Monangai. That's a one man offense. Michigan has Colston Loveland returning, 6'5", going to be the obvious receiving option. They're even trying him out at the X position, apparently, at various deep passing routes. So they're trying him out at the X position. You've got Tyler Morris coming back, who is able to outrun Alabama at multiple points in the game against Alabama. So you've got, in addition to Edwards, you got plenty of others that are going to be making plays in the game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the way the offense runs this year. I think Colston Loveland, I think they're going to do a lot of interesting stuff with him. I mean, he's 6'5" and as athletic as I'll get out. There's a tight end behind him, Max
Bredesen.
James just put it
Oh
in there.
yeah,
Thank you, James.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Max
Klein
Klein.
is
He
second, and then Bredesen is the top fullback slash block
Yeah,
tight
like the
end.
H
Yeah,
back kind of guy.
yeah, H back.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean Max Klein. I think he's going to do some interesting stuff this season. I think that he
yeah,
has some more time under his belt. He understands the offense a little bit more, and they'll do things with him. I'm interested to see what happens with Samaj Morgan
yeah,
and what he is able to do. Kind of was a little
yeah,
bit of a gadget piece last year. I think he's going to need to be much more than that for Michigan if they want to be able to spread it out and rely on him on the outside and in
yeah,
the slot. It's just the way things are operating. So if I am looking at it as kind of like what have people proven, it does kind of seem like Donovan Edwards, star player, most proven guy, and it's hard. It's hard to figure out a way to have your tight end be like your star feature player to do that kind of stuff. But I mean, Sharon Moore has done things that I never really thought would be all that interesting before. He made an offense that had 7 offensive linemen out there do some interesting things with the way they're able
mm-hmm.
to pull the offensive line and stuff. So if anybody can do it, we'll see if Sharon Moore can. But
Yeah. My
I'm a
bad.
believer in these two Michigan tight ends that they're going to be very interesting.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mention Klein, but Kirk Campbell said that Marlon Klein actually was better than Colston Loveland in some, and we actually had reported that a week before that broke. But Kirk Campbell said that he's actually better than Colston Loveland in some areas. With respect to maybe some of the speed and some of what he's able to do. So Klein is great. I didn't even mention my guy Fred Moore. I was on the Fred Moore train before anybody, and I said he was going to be the starter. Everyone else said no, it's going to be Amarian Walker. No, 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 no. It's going to be Fred Moore taking that X position, kind of splitting some time with Colston Loveland and Amarian Walker, but Fred Moore won out because of his speed. His speed is really good. If you've watched film, you've watched the spring games, you've watched when he's played, he's able to just outrun opponents and create that separation. So yeah, there's just so much talent on the offense. You miss people sometimes, but and somebody asked about the O line too. I'm happy to touch on that.
He came really fast. I know Evan Link is probably the right tackle starter, and
Yeah, Yeah,
Miles
that's
Hinton
the
probably left tackle. Is the center ups? Is the center position
so
still
this
going?
is the breaking news. So it was Crippen, and the last couple of days, Gaudici has. I'm probably screwing that name up, but Gaudici apparently is starting tomorrow. He has won out in camp, and I said Crippen was barely holding on, but I still had him as starter as of Tuesday. But it is looking like Gaudici is taking it, so you've got your line pretty solidified now. But those are who Evan Link winning the job as a sophomore is huge. That just doesn't happen at
And
Michigan.
he didn't play at all last year either. I mean, it's not like he played 4 games and redshirted. I don't think he took a single snap last year, right?
I don't think not at all. Yeah, and freshmen and like underclassmen, like freshmen sophomores rarely play at Michigan at O line because it's such an elite unit. It's such an elite position group for Michigan that it tends to be seniors, graduates, graduate transfers. Get a sophomore being able to beat Gentry and Percy for that role. And Percy's been waiting years and years and years, and he might be the sixth lineman, or maybe in some of the 6 or 7 lineman sets he'll be in there. But yeah, Evan Link, I am super impressed with his ability to win out at right tackle.
Very impressive for a sophomore to come in and do that. I believe he redshirted last year too because he didn't play. So redshirt freshman to be able to do that, you're going to have at least 2 years of him, which will be good for them. John.